What's up? It's Michael here with Gears of War gameplay from a multiplayer execution match against some bots. I'm here with Travis, who is the person on the video that you are watching right now.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. That scared the shit out of me too.
My obnoxious hay.
Yeah. So anyhow, right now Michael and I are doing some sniper game thing. What's it on River?
Not actually right now.
Not right now. Yeah, no. We
like 4 days ago. This is not a live call.
Yeah.
So this is the channel. You know that we don't need a channel introduction, but the channel's been kind of dead right now recently. So what we're gonna be doing is bringing you. I'm gonna get off my ass. I've got school, lots of school, advanced courses, enriched courses, lots of homework, a bunch of bullshit. When I get free time, I'm doing the history of Call of Duty multiplayer, and I'm gonna do like a gameplay of Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty World at War, and Modern Warfare 2. I will not be doing Black Ops because that game sucks.
It's true, it does.
And I'll have a commentary on them discussing shit. What?
I honestly love how I just say fuck it, pull out my shotgun, and blow Barrett into like 3 pieces.
So Travis.
Yeah.
Being a teenage boy in school, what do you find is the hardest thing?
The hardest thing?
The hardest thing about growing up.
About growing up. It's the constant fact that you always want to fix something.
The maturity level. Really?
No.
Your problem is always wanting to, when you find horniness is your main problem?
No.
Not fitting in or being cool or getting along or like having people like you or doing well in school or impressing your parents and none of those things bring concern to you?
I don't know. Thinking about my future always makes me feel like I'm setting myself up for failure for some reason.
Well, you are looking in a very poor direction, so Travis, tell us exactly what you want to do.
I don't see how I'm moving in a poor direction. I'm going to, haven't officially decided on what I want to do with video games. Probably be a 3D designer, but, that's probably it.
This is why I say you're setting yourself up for failure. The studies have shown, statistics and stuff, have shown that the chances of becoming a profession, like gaining a profession in the video game career, are less likely than becoming a professional football NFL player.
I really don't see that happening, considering that like every company is always hiring.
Yeah, but every kid from this generation is always trying to get the job.
Just depends on how good you are.
Yeah, but you've got 300 million people in the States. I'd say 100.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is they look for skills.
Well,
if they narrow it down to 2 people, and the one person has 3 more years of schooling than the other person, they're gonna go with the person who has more experience.
So what makes you better than the other person?
Nothing makes me better than the other person. Not now.
What are you going to do to change that?
I'm going to go to college for 4 years.
Eeks. Yeah, see, well, that's what I want to do, so that's my backup plan, is to become a paramedic. Go to college, 2 years in paramedicine, get my degree, become an EMT in a big city. But, thanks, Ryan. But, my main goal would be to, and I mean, it's going to seem hypocritical that I was just saying Travis is setting himself up for failure. And my main goal is to get out of high school with at least a 90 average, and then get into university and get a master's in math, and then go back and get a master's in science, and then with those 2 degrees apply to medical school, become an intern, a resident, then eventually a surgeon.
Very interesting.
And if that was to ever fall apart or not work, just go to college for 2 years and become a paramedic. For next to no friggin' money at all, for 14-hour shifts, for constantly working weekends, never seeing your family, trying to save lives, and getting crap money. Not
Getting
fair.
crap money. Still, that's a pretty detailed future.
iPhone or BlackBerry? That is the poll. Do you guys want like iPhones or Blackberries?
Well, you and I are going to be extremely biased in a situation like this.
I want an iPhone.
Oh, okay, well then, I've got an iPhone, and I like iPhone.
I currently have a BlackBerry Curve, and I would prefer an iPhone. These things are cool. Be harder to text on them, though.
I don't know, you just have to get used to it, but I've got giant fucking thumbs.
I've texted on an iPod Touch and stuff. And
iPod Touches are smaller than iPhones.
the touchscreens, they don't register as your fingers as much, it seems. And pushing down an old button.
You must have had a really shitty iPod.
No, it wasn't a frequent thing, but there's times where I'd press H and it would hit L. And
Oh yeah, the keys are really sensitive. It's because the touchscreen is not pressure sensitive, it's heat sensitive. Which I think they said they might be fixing that in the iPhone 5.
so that way you'd be able to use like a touch stick and everything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so if it's heat sensitive, does that mean I can text with my penis?
Yeah.
That's great. Definitely send like a text that says,
This text was just sent using my penis.
mind you, on the if it was pressure sensed, I would totally send drunken texts using my beer bottle.
Huh.
Sorry guys, had some technical difficulties. So anyways, we were just saying, so Travis, what was the hardest thing for you growing up? Well, I guess we're still growing up, but like, what is the hardest thing? Or
I don't know, realizing that you're growing up and you're never going to get to do all the fun shit a kid gets to do anymore.
I'm looking forward to growing up.
Why is that?
I never really did a lot of kid stuff. Like, I never played little kid sports and stuff like that. It was never like about fun. It was never like, it's not like I played competitor hockey when I was little and it was all fun and games, and now I'm growing up and it's all competitive. Like, that's never been like that for me. I don't know, I've always been more mature than I should have. Like, I don't know. I read books when I was a kid. I didn't play in the sand. Stuff like that. So to me, it's the same thing.
I see. So, what do you find to be the hardest thing about growing up then?
Just trying to fit in. Like, I don't stick with one group. I mean, I've got at the same time, I found through high school it's better to have a small group of really close friends. But while I do have a small group of really close friends, I also have a huge group of really, really, really loose friends. So for me, it's always just been about making everyone okay with me and staying neutral and not making enemies and fitting in, getting along with everybody. It's just, I've never wanted like enemies and rivals and having the kid that gives you dirty looks in the hall. And
Yeah. I don't know, I think trying to fit in is, I think a big part of teenage life. I don't know, more times than not, I think, I'm more worried about impressing my dad than my mom.
oh yeah, I can agree to that.
I don't know, it's just, seems like my dad always thinks not too highly of me. But in a sense, I do agree with him.
My parents have always, well, my mom's always been a good job kind of parent, whereas my dad will, like, I'll come home and I'll have a 90 on a test, and I'll go, you know, look, Mom, I got a 90, and she would be like, good job, that's amazing. But when I show my dad, it'd be like, how long did you study? Like, I don't know, like 2 hours last night? If you studied for 3, you could have got a 95.
Yeah.
And they're like, what was your average, Michael? Oh, it was 80. Why is it so low? And it was like, oh, I got a 70 in one of these classes. Oh, well, it was an easy class. It was a stupid class. If you'd tried, you would have had an 80 in that class. Your average could have been like an 85. Like, I make honor roll, and it's like you could have made honor roll even more than you already did.
Yeah.
Also, my dad being very, he's not that old, but he's only 47 years old, but he's that generation. So he doesn't understand, like me as I feels pathetic saying it, but he doesn't understand me as a gamer, as a like someone who can operate Vegas, Photoshop, and edit and stuff like that. Like, doesn't understand why I'm locked in my room with TVs and consoles, and capture cards, and this and that, and computers up and working away, and headsets. And to him, it's always been get out in the garage and fix a car. And women stay home and clean houses, and
oh my god,
men are outside fixing things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess mainly my life is a competition. Like I wake up and I run 2 kilometers every morning. I got back from my run, and then my dad got home 2 hours later, and I'm still kind of tired from my 2K run. And he told me that all I do is sit in my room and I'm lazy because I run when he's not home, just to avoid that entire topic. He tells me all I do is he knows that I'm out of shape, and that all I do is sit in my room and I'm lazy, and I'm like, I run 2 kilometers every day. It's like, I bet you can't get to the top of the hill on the road in 5 minutes, which is the top of the hill is a kilometer away, so there and back is 2. But he tells me, I bet you can't get there in 5 minutes. So within 5 seconds, I was in my running clothes and out the door, and you know what? He was right. I didn't get there in 5 minutes. I got there in 4. So it's always been a bit of competition between pressing him. Like, my dad dropped out of high school, so my schooling's always been better than him. But he thinks I shouldn't be a paramedic. He thinks I should be going and being a mechanic and stuff.
Personally, I think a paramedic would get paid more than a mechanic.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Millwrights are fixing things. The labor costs are making anywhere from $70,000 to $150,000 a year.
That's really fucked up.
Well, mechanic is a very loose term. You don't have to think directly to cars like my dad's occupation. He fixes power plants. The same type of power plant that melted down in Chernobyl. If it was to melt down here, it would be my dad's fault. Like, he's fixed that, he's fixed cars, he's built this, he's fixed assembly lines. Like, there's been guys, he had his old work before, I don't know if you've heard of the GM economy crash.
Yep.
See, my dad got out of that. He was probably going to get laid off. He ended up quitting and went back to school, got his grade 12 diploma, and yada yada, and now he's working a better job. How much time do we have left, by the way?
I think we're over.
Oh.
Well,
why would you not tell me that?
Because there's no counter.
Or are you not watching the video?
The video doesn't even matter right now.
Why?
Because we had to splice, and we're talking right now because we're recording. Fuck.